No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
The following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the co-host are not necessarily those of the host. Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of Spit or Swallow. I am your host, the Pornhub Poppy, Daddy Delgado, aka SES Vince. Now, today we have a very special episode. We're going to be talking about the WWE draft in its entirety. But before we get down to the nitty-gritty of things, let me introduce my guests. For tonight, we have a little Chicago flavor to today's episode. First and foremost, the man that refuses to show his face, Chi-Town's own Benji Calavera. How are you doing, Benji?
Yo, what's good? What's good? Thanks for that intro, man.
You know what, man? I was gonna say that you're like from the mean streets of like Riverside, Illinois, but I wasn't sure if Riverside was the actual like spot that you were.
Give me one of my locations out here.
One of your locations. So you have many locations, right?
Hey, let's keep that on the
Sound like CJ with all like his like many houses in GTA. You sound like a GTA character, Benji. But we did not come alone because, ladies and gentlemen, Get Your Podcast is in the building. We got Justin with us. How you doing, Just?
Good. You know what I'm saying? Happy to be on Spit or Swallows. You know what I'm saying? Got to send a shout out to the Chicago Bulls right now. You know?
Yeah. Hey, is that what we're doing? We're showing off our hats.
Oh,
ooh, there we go. Not trying to wear it because I just finished getting a haircut right before we set up to record this. So I'm not trying to get hairy inside of my caps. So yeah, we're just gonna clean the headset after.
Not you with the fresh lineup, okay?
Yeah. Gotta look clean for episode 2, man. You know we're debuting the new logo.
Edges?
Smooth edges? Yeah. Gotta get this shit cut. You know, gotta look good for the weekend. You never know what's gonna pop up in the weekend.
When I used to have hair, I used to go to Betty and Nick's. Shout out to Betty and Nick's on the north side.
Betty and Nick's on the north side. I'll check that out. For
Kibble and Montrose, if you know, Kibble and Montrose.
Kibble and Montrose. Hey, you know what? That's not too far off from me. I'll check. No.
Hey, check them out, man.
My girl actually lives by there because she stays on like Kimball and Addison.
You said she stays on Kimball and Addison?
Oh,
I've said too much. We like to remind you guys that we are the YouTube exclusive video version of the podcast. So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I believe we have the custom URL, which should be youtube.com/Creation World. But if we do not, you can just go ahead and search up Creation World or creationworld.com. You'll be able to find all the links to all that. Also, just find us on Twitter at The Creation World. Find the links there. Also, our co-host from this main show, Smackin Raw, Matt Ritter, has all the links on his bio. That's Matt Ritter. I'm not going to do it all fast because I can't fucking do it. I don't have the linguistic skills that he does. Mm-hmm. But like I said, we're talking about the WWE draft, guys. Every year we do this episode. We always have these episodes on Raw or SmackDown. But me personally, I look forward to it. This year was kind of like a weird dynamic for me. I wasn't sure how I felt just because I guess like Raw just kind of felt like a shit show. SmackDown just felt like the better of all 3 or 4 brands if you count AEW. And I wasn't sure if I really wanted things to be tampered with or maneuvered around. But, here we are. The draft happened. First and foremost, did you guys get a chance to watch the draft both nights?
Yes.
Benji?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. You're not lying to me, are you, Benji?
Of course not. I came prepared for this Smackin Raw podcast.
Uh-huh. Okay. But so I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna do and follow the SmackDown Raw format. I'll be playing the role of Matt Ritter and I'll be running down the entire show. We're gonna go by the entire picks. We're gonna mention all our swallows, whether that's a specific wrestler going to a show or anything in particular that you're just a fan of. We're gonna do our spits, and if there's anything that we need to gargle, then we'll gargle it towards the end as well. So we'll start off with night one that happened on SmackDown Friday nights, which was Roman Reigns going to SmackDown, Big E going to Raw, the Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair going over to SmackDown, and Bianca going over to Raw. In the second round, we had Drew McIntyre going over to SmackDown, the Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro staying on Raw, the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods going over to SmackDown, Edge returning to Raw, which I feel like Edge, yes, Edge has his association with SmackDown, but Raw also is where Edge did a lot of his business. And I'm not just referring to the live sex celebration with Lita. I'm just talking about his whole feuds with John Cena happened on Raw.
Right.
Round 3 had Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss going over to SmackDown. The WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Super Brutality staying on Raw. Hit Row getting the call up and going over to SmackDown, which was very surprising to me. I was not expecting that. And Bearcat Keith Lee goes over to Raw. Then in the fourth round, we have Naomi staying on SmackDown. I'm glad she got drafted. I'm glad they're actually doing something with Naomi here. You have Rey and Dominic Mysterio going over to Raw. They're keeping the family, the father-son dynamic going over there on Monday nights. Jeff Hardy going over to SmackDown, and Austin Theory by himself being called up to Raw, which is another surprise because I kind of figured that because he returned to NXT during the whole Index wedding, he was going to return as part of the Way with Gargano and Candice. But Candice going to go away. She's on maternity leave. Indy is apparently in the new tag team with Persia. I forgot her last name. Benji, I feel like you would know.
No, I don't know her last name.
Okay, but Persia. So she's in the tag team with her, and I don't know. I kind of felt like the Way family, the Gargano family, was going to stay together on NXT. And even though we heard rumors of Austin Theory coming over to Raw or doing dark matches on main roster, still a little surprising. But you got the call up. Then afterwards on what was it? Talking Smack, they had additional picks. Raw got Akira Tozawa, Alpha Academy, Otis and Chad Gable, Apollo Crews with Commander Aziz, Doudrop, Drake Maverick, John Morrison, Nia Jax, Reggie with the 24/7 championship, R-Truth, T-Bar, and Selena Vega. SmackDown got Aaliyah, another call up, fuck Aaliyah, Drew Gulak, Drew Gulak, Mace, Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, and Tony Storm. So they broke up the last two remaining members of Retribution. A little weird. Okay, we'll see what happens, but we'll start with this so far, guys. In terms of spit or swallow of night one, what would you guys like to swallow? What were some moves or happenings on the show that you felt like were swallow worthy?
I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna swallow Mustafa Ali.
Okay.
let me explain.
Okay, please do, Benji.
You have to throw for that. You have to throw for that to swallow all of that.
It's all halal, right? No, well, listen, man. Him going to SmackDown, I feel like it's gonna be a much better opportunity for them. They got a little thing going. They haven't really, had a chance to really dive into that, but I feel like he's been on the cusp of getting that. Unfortunately, this whole thing with Retribution that kind of flopped, and that kind of really messed up any momentum Mustafa had. But I feel like this is the perfect opportunity for him to really show out.
Okay, all right. And then also, if you watched on this past Monday on Raw, it's looking like he's having a singles match with Mansoor at Crown Jewel. he's probably going to lose that because Mansoor is the Undertaker of Saudi Arabia.
Right.
But afterwards, I can see Mustafa Ali regaining that spot in the mid card going after that IC title. Like that guy is great, and I know we're not being biased just because he's from Chicago and he was former Chicago.
What? He's from Chicago. What?
Yeah. What? He's actually from here. Get your fake out over here.
Man. Okay, Mustafa Ali going over to SmackDown, specifically Mustafa Ali, not Mansoor. I see you, Benji. What else are you swallowing from night one?
I gotta say, Hit Row getting called up. I think in the beginning it was kind of like, they hadn't really had enough. It's too early that they made the jump from NXT, but I think their whole thing is just main roster ready. They needed more eyes on them, and plus like the way NXT 2.0 was going, I'm glad that they're out of there. Not to say that like 2.0 is bad, but I think they're just more like NXT before 2.0.
Yeah, OG NXT.
Exactly, OG NXT. Like, so I think for them to be on SmackDown was a good choice for them. Isaiah Swerve Scott is a star, also Chicago native. Is he Chicago? Wait, no, hold on. Is he?
No. He's from Cali, I think, man.
No, yeah, he's from Cali. That's right. What am I saying? Okay, anyway.
Who are you thinking that's from Chicago?
I don't know. I don't know why I said that.
We got the Chicago on the brain, man. We got Chicago.
Yeah, that's it.
We love our city. We love our city. You know what? You're just thinking about the Bulls' final preseason game tonight. That's
what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
that's what it is, man. That's what it is, man.
We gotta go to a game, y'all. We gotta go to a game.
We'll work things out if Benji actually shows up.
Benji, hook us up with tickets, man.
Yeah, Benji. Christmas around the corner. Thanksgiving is around the corner too. You're thankful to have us in your life. You could get us some Bulls tickets.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Okay. Anything else you guys are swallowing from night one specifically?
Well, obviously Keith Lee, anything Keith Lee. And him doing the whole shout it out for Bearcat, anything that Keith Lee is doing, it's always going to be a swallow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I have the strength like me and Yim can do it, swallow like that, but
hey,
I'll give it a shot.
Hey,
I mean, you're both Asian, so I mean, you might be able to pull it off. We don't know.
Yum dim sum. Let's go.
Okay, Benji, is there anything else you want to swallow?
Oh, let's see. Y'all ain't rocking with Drake Maverick?
Oh man, nah. I can't believe that guy's still employed.
For real, man. For real, like
that man cried himself into a contract.
No kidding. He did the Britney Spears fan crying to get himself a relevancy.
Jesus. Anyway, I guess I'll give my swallows for the show.
You mean Jesus?
Jesus.
Okay. On the final day of Hispanic Heritage Month, I'm gonna go ahead and swallow Bianca going over to Raw because I just feel like she's a big enough star that you can build an entire division around, and it looks like SmackDown wasn't going to be it because you had Sasha, you now have Charlotte, and you had Becky. It's like they were trying to do that with her on SmackDown, but maybe they just felt like Raw really needs a strong anchor, and I feel like Bianca could be that for Raw.
100.
Also want to double down on Justice Swallow of Bearcat Keith Lee, because Raw is the show with the main title, with the WWE title. I feel like that's the title within the next year. We're gonna see that not necessarily being hot potato, but musical chair. People are gonna have their turn with that WWE title, and over on SmackDown, Roman's not gonna drop that Universal title anytime soon.
No.
So I want the WWE title on Keith Lee, just like it's on Biggie right now, and that's kind of what I want to see going forward, is multiple people getting a crack at the title.
Right.
So I have a question for y'all. So with Bianca going to Raw, who does she feud with now that all the horsewomen are on SmackDown? To make that she's going to be an anchor and be a star.
Benji, don't get yourself ahead because we're going to be talking about that on night 2 of the portion of the Spirit Swallow for the WWE draft. Okay. So let's wrap off right here. Like, again, quick swallow, Hit Row. Love me some Hit Row. I think they're fantastic. They're probably like one of the better things on NXT recently up until the switch to 2.0.
Right.
I want to go ahead and swallow Naomi going over to SmackDown, and hopefully her being on SmackDown with Roman and the Bloodline allows her to turn heel, maybe joins the Bloodline. I feel like that's something I'd like to definitely see. It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Also want to swallow Edge going over to Raw because I think he's done everything there is to do on SmackDown, even though he's only been there for a short period of time. He can do a little bit more on Raw. And why not? Rated R Raw, like all the Raw are the R's in the world. And what else do I want to swallow? I think that's it for the swallows for me on my end. Now we'll switch over to the spits. Out of everything that I listed here from night 1, is there anything you guys are spitting?
The New Day breaking up.
Thank you. I knew that was going to be at the top of the list. Benji?
I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Explain your spit.
Well, for me, because it was kind of like, I understand what they're doing. They want Big E to be his own brand, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Big E could, carry that load and everything. But just
that's what she said.
That's what the anchor said, man. That girl that he was with, good God. Okay, man. I forgot her name though, but whatever.
Big E's winning.
That's what I'm saying. He's winning. He's winning everything.
Mm-hmm.
But he could be his own brand. The thing is, like, you got a chance to see them together and then love them again. Like, New Day together is just better than when they're separated.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand for the Big E brand that they had to separate the New Day. So that's why I kind of don't like it. I just like to see them together. So that's just like a little, hurtful thing on me. That's why I spit it.
Benji, do you spit that as well?
I'm gonna spit Bianca going to Raw.
Oh, how come?
Okay. All right, so you get Bianca on SmackDown a little bit before they open things back up. So she's pretty much building it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's building it up. Her and Sasha have a feud. It gets mainstream attention. It's being built up. It's it's going somewhere. Now that it's getting there, they take her out of it and they put all the horsewomen there already. Now that it's been built up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's kind of like they were building something new, fresh, and then once they got it where they want to, let's put her on Raw. Where, I mean, you have to be. It's not even a superstar is going to make that show entertaining. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. And then you put her on SmackDown, it's that bait and switch type thing. And then it's like, people will always say, let's just see how it plays out. She's going to be a star on Raw. She's going to be the anchor. She's going to carry it. And then when it doesn't happen, it's, well, we told you, type of thing. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being cynical. I don't know.
Doesn't it have anything to do with the fact that you actually did an interview with Bianca, and I think you guys went to the same school at one point, and you just are a little bit more sentimental when it comes to Bianca and her career?
There might be some bias there, maybe.
Okay,
sure.
Kind of thing.
I kind of agree what Benji's saying, because she's kind of built, like, SmackDown is kind of her house.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of like been the new star on SmackDown. So for her to leave and then go to Raw, I guess it doesn't make sense. But, I don't know. Like, I do want to see her, like, building up new stars and help, like, go against new talent. Like the Sasha Bianca thing, I want them to go far away from each other. I don't want to see that feud. WWE has this trope where they do, 3 times, 4th time. Sometimes they run the feuds down, and they bring it up way too many times on these pay-per-views.
Exactly. Oh, okay. So that's a fair point. You brought up. I want to circle back though to what Justin was saying about the New Day breaking up, and just, I guess, go on a little Rick rant and be like, what the fuck? Why? Like, why break them up? Like, just said the same thing. I get you're trying to push Big E as a single star. You're trying to build the Big E brand, but at the same time, you don't need to necessarily break them up for you to do that. He already has his own singles theme song. They can just treat them as like a faction. There's a single star in a faction. There's a tag team in the faction.
Right.
Like, it's not that difficult to just go ahead and do. You can still push Big E. You never need to break up the New Day. I think what's fucking more upsetting is that this is the second year in a row that they break up the New Day. And we were so giddy and just like excited that like Big E went over to Raw, cashed in his Money in the Bank, became WWE champion. We had the New Day for like all of 2 or 3 weeks, and then we had to say goodbye once again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing that just like really irritates me about the whole thing. It's like, stop breaking them up. You don't need to do that. And then also too, with New Day breaking up, we were having like these fantasy matches like, oh, maybe we could do Bloodline versus New Day. We could do Hurt Business versus New Day. Now we can't do neither of those. It's like, what was the fucking point?
And then they gave it to us too early on Raw.
Exactly, man.
The match really didn't mean anything. You know what I mean?
They blue balled us with this whole New Day reunion. That's what they fucking did. I kind of want to do like a very small spit of Drew McIntyre going over to SmackDown for the simple fact that, yes, there was nothing for him to do over on Raw anymore other than just challenge Big E, which he's already doing now at Crown Jewel. Mm-hmm. But he goes over to SmackDown. He's obviously going to be fed to Roman. Then after that, what is he going to do? Just linger in the mid card and be the IC champion kind of guy? Like, that's the issue with anyone going over to SmackDown right now with Roman there. Unless you're the person to beat Roman Reigns, you're just going to get fed to the man because he's probably not going to drop the title until Mania. And even then, I don't know if he'll drop it at Mania. So that's the main thing.
I don't think Drew McIntyre has the charisma to keep up with Roman.
Yes, that's right. Oh, you don't like his sword and his stories?
That dude is boring, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
What else I want to spit? I guess I'll spit T-Bar and Mace being broken up for the simple reason of why you need tag teams. Why split them up? It's like, are you actually going to do something with them now that they're broken up, or did you just split them up just for shits and giggles, just for the sake of splitting tag teams up?
I mean, I don't really know what they're gonna do with T-Bar, but Donovan Doja Cat. I was gonna say Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
That's his new name, Dominic Doja Cat. No, that's the name. That's the name. Just own it, Just.
Yo, that's his name, Doja Cat. As long as they make him a single star and he starts, wrestling just by himself singles, I'm down with that.
And what's crazy is like, I'm glad that hopefully that means that he's not going to be called T-Bar anymore. I don't know if he'll be called Doja Cat, but Dominic Dijakovic may make a return. Mace, I feel like he's very green. I don't know what they'll fucking do with Mace. I feel like Mace would have been a perfect addition for the Hurt Business, kind of like be like another body.
Yeah.
Why would he be a perfect addition to?
Because remember when Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander were kicked out of Hurt Business, they kind of teased T-Bar and Mace being part of Hurt Business, and I kind of like the idea. Yeah. So I figured like they both be like solid muscles to pair up with Bobby Lashley.
Doja Cat can't be in the Hurt Business?
Doja Cat can be in the Hurt Business too, but I think I want him to go back to being Doja Cat and not T-Bar.
I got you.
Well, I think Mace fits better with the Hurt Business just because I don't know. I don't know what y'all guys think, but I think he's just a bad boy.
He's a very bad boy.
Jesus.
I mean, it's whatever feels good at this moment.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe fucking guys.
I mean, he's all about the Benjamins. He's all about the Benjamins.
We're not talking about this Benjamin, right? We're not talking about this one, right? This one's particular because I don't think anybody wants this Benjamin like that. Although I'd be wrong. Benji has told me some stories. He can't be a hot commodity.
Let's keep going with the show.
Is there anything else you guys want to spit or swallow from night one?
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
That's it.
All right.
I'll swallow Dewdrop.
Okay.
As
will I.
That's a big gulp. That's a big gulp.
Night 2 of the WWE draft culminated the following Monday on Raw. First round was Becky Lynch going over to Raw. So there you go, Benji. The horsewomen are not exclusively on SmackDown. That's what I was trying to get to you. Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, stayed on SmackDown. The Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley and MVP, went over to Raw. Sasha Banks stayed on SmackDown. So SmackDown currently only has Charlotte and Sasha. Raw has Becky Lynch. And we'll talk about Bayley. Round 2, Seth Rollins goes over to Raw. This is what annoyed me. I was hoping that either Seth Rollins or Edge would be drafted over to Raw, so we wouldn't have to do Edge versus Seth Rollins anymore. Clearly, they're having a blow-off match at Crown Jewel, and hopefully it is a blow-off match because I kind of don't want to see it continue. You know? Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs went over to SmackDown, keeping the IC title on SmackDown, which meant Damian Priest and the US title stayed on Raw. And Sheamus, I can no longer call him the GOAT, went over to SmackDown. R.I.P. Sheamus and Sheamus, I got Sheamus on the brain. AJ Styles and almost stayed on Raw as a team. Shayna Baszler by herself went over to SmackDown. Kevin Owens back on Raw. Xia Li getting the call up. No Tian Sha, just Xia Li by herself going over to SmackDown. I'm all about more Asians on my programming.
Same.
Yeah, that's why I called up Justin to join me on Spit or Swallow. You know, I need Asian. I need me some Asian. You know. Round 4, Street Profits, Raw. Viking Raiders, SmackDown. Finn Balor going to Raw, which kind of poses the question: why did they wait till the 4th round to draft Finn Balor? He was literally in like the main events of Extreme Rules for the Universal title. Makes no sense. Ricochet goes over to SmackDown. Round 5 has Karrion Kross and his gladiator costume going over to Raw. The most handsome tag team in all of WWE, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, is going over to SmackDown, which we'll talk about that. Alexa Bliss stays on Raw whenever she comes back. Cesaro goes to SmackDown. Carmella goes to Raw. Joins up with her husband, ? In Corey Graves. I'm not sure if they're married. Rich Holland getting the call up from NXT by himself. No P Dunn over to SmackDown. Gable Stevenson, Olympic gold medalist Gable Stevenson, recently signed to WWE, skipping developmental, skipping NXT 2.0 and the Performance Center, and just going straight to Monday Night Raw. Okay. And Sami Zayn, the Mr. Irrelevant, the final pick of the 6th round of night 1. Obviously, on Raw Talk, we had more picks. SmackDown had maybe 3, if you call Jinder Mahal and Shanky as 1 pick, Natalya and Shotzi. Then Raw had Dana Brooke, Dirty Dogs, aka Rudolph, the rest of Hurt Business, Sheldon Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, which I'll get into it in my spits. Jackson Riker, Liv Morgan, Mia Yim. Thank God she's now no longer a Reckoning or whatever her name was. The Miz, Tamina, Tegan Knox, and Veer. So we'll start with the goods. What are you swallowing from night 1? I mean, night 2.
You go ahead, just.
Yeah, for me, I know that there's a lot, people would say about the whole Tegan Knox and Shotzi Blackheart getting separated. But for me, I've always seen the both of them as singles. Yeah. Like, I know they could have been something as a tag team. I just think that Shotzi worked better with Ember, when they had their tag team on NXT. But for me, maybe it's just I'm a biased person. I want to see Shotzi carry that women's title, whichever one, SmackDown or Raw. So I'd have her in big feuds with, many of the women. So I'm definitely swallowing that. Okay, so you're swallowing Shotzi being split up from Knox and going over to SmackDown. Okay. Right. All right. Benji? Definitely swallowing.
It's definitely swallow. Let's see. For me,
are you going to swallow that Becky Lynch went over to Raw so Bianca has a horsewoman to play with?
That was going to be my spit. But no, let's make that my swallow. Because listen, I'll spit on Becky Lynch all day. I think she's whack. But, her at least going to Raw at least gives me the slimmer of hope that, Bianca will make up for that 26-second loss. That they'll do something with that it'll lead to something, that this this takes Bianca to the next level. So if her stepping on Becky Lynch is the requirement for that, then by all means, let's do it.
Okay, fair enough. Any other swallows, guys, from night 2?
The fact that I'll swallow the fact that Humberto Carrillo and Garza were recognized at least in the draft.
Mm-hmm. Most handsome tag team in all of WWE. Get it right, Benji.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll also piggyback on what Benji's saying about being represented too. Xia Li and Mia Yim. Asian representation and recognized in the draft as well.
Yeah, I love that they called her Mia Yim, and they actually addressed her as Mia Yim on Raw Talk, which was great. Yes. Xia Li, not too surprising because, again, similar to Austin Theory, was doing dark matches and was under the assumption that she was going to get called up, and she got called up as a single star over to SmackDown. That's part of my swallows. That was my first swallow is Xia Li going over to SmackDown. This should be exciting. Like, Tiana Shaw was cool, but I will say over time, I just love the aggressive, mean-spirited Xia Li, and I stopped caring about Mei Ying and Boa. It's like, now that Xia Li, it kind of ran its course. It ran its fucking course, and it feels out of place with NXT 2.0. And it almost might be a blessing in disguise by splitting them up, because once they got separated, I realized I was really only there for Xia Li and her tremendous thighs. And now she's joining over Toni Storm and her tremendous thighs. So battle of the thighs over on SmackDown, man.
That's what I'm saying. Let's make it clap, yo. Let's make it clap. Round of applause.
I want to also swallow Kevin Owens going to Raw because, again, similar to the situation that Drew McIntyre is going to find himself being in, Kevin Owens on SmackDown can't really do anything other than challenge for the IC title, and that seems a little beneath for Kevin at the moment. I would love to see him go back over to Raw. He always feels better. He always felt more of a Raw guy. Whenever he's been on SmackDown, he's been okay, but not fantastic. Like his recent SmackDown run, he was kind of like PG Stone Cold Steve Austin. And before that, he was like the face of America, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, the U.S. champion.
Yeah, the U.S. champion run. So it was weird. And I feel like Kevin Owens just feels better on Raw. And I feel like he's admitted that himself. I know I've heard that somewhere where he's admitted to himself and just like in public saying that he prefers being on Raw. He just feels more comfortable on Raw. Mm-hmm. I want to swallow Shayna Baszler going over to SmackDown. I'm excited for her getting a singles legit run that was butchered on her call up to Raw against Becky Lynch. Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo being recognized as a tag team. I'm excited for them. Mm-hmm. And Finn Balor going over Raw because, again, similar to Kevin Owens, you fucking lost as the demon to Roman Reigns because you tripped off like the top rope. Like, get him away from that situation.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else you guys would like to swallow? Or would you like to move on to our spits now?
We could do spits.
Okay. Let me do one quick spit and I'll let you guys go.
Okay, go for it.
How fucking stupid do you have to be if you're Raw? You draft the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley and MVP with your second pick in the first round, and then in the additional supplemental part of the draft that happens on Raw Talk, you draft the other half of Hurt Business as the tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Why not draft all four of them? That just makes no goddamn fucking sense. That's terrible drafting. You wasted a fucking pick, if you ask me. I don't know. That's just been bugging me ever since I saw that shit. It was just fucking dumb. And maybe I'm a little, chest, man. Maybe it bugs me because I recently just did a draft and it was a million times better. You guys should definitely go ahead and check it out. Cheap plug, Linktree/SES Vince will get you the audio version for that. If not, I believe the video version should still be up on Twitch, twitch.tv/SES Vince. If not, follow me on all social media platforms at SES Vince. We'll get you all the links. It'll be in my bios. But yeah, it was fucking dumb drafting. Like, you're gonna draft the entirety of Hurt Business anyway. Why not just use it in one pick?
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
For me, I'm gonna spit that Finn Balor was chosen so late in the draft.
Okay.
I mean, night 2. This is your first Universal Champion.
Yeah. Well,
right?
I think the whole thing with night 2 was the fact that he was only eligible to be drafted on night 2, similar to like Becky Lynch, but still he went in like what? He was the final pick of Raw in the 4th round.
Yeah. Aaliyah was picked before.
Aaliyah,
Aaliyah
but Aaliyah was picked on night 1. So like that's
Okay.
distinction. That's the distinction.
Okay.
So if you look at the order of Raw drafted, they went Becky Lynch. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley, MVP. Okay. Seth Rollins. Okay, a little bit. Damian Priest. Okay, you need the title.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with that. Damian Priest.
AJ Styles and Omos, Kevin Owens, Street Profits, and then Finn Balor. So maybe you can rearrange some stuff. I think maybe you switch and flip Kevin Owens and Finn Balor in that spot.
True.
Probably.
I guess. Or the AJ and Omos.
Yeah, that too.
If it was just AJ, I can see that. But either way, Finn Balor being picked late, I'll definitely spit that. Maybe the turnbuckle really hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Not only did he fall off that turnbuckle, he really fell down on the draft board too.
The draft board, and then maybe the chest pump. The break dancing chest pump when he was on the ground. That also like that devalued his trade. You know what I'm saying? It's just like trade value. When you go from shooting 28%, scoring 28 points, and now you just 16 points. It hurt.
So he's the Ben Simmons of WWE right now.
Ooh. I don't know if I want to say Ben Simmons. At least Finn Balor will show up.
I mean,
at least he'll show up.
Fair enough. Benji, is there anything you want to spit?
Damian Priest went to Raw, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to spit the fact that he's not on SmackDown.
Why?
Because I wanted to see Bad Bunny on SmackDown. I'm gonna lie. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you just so the sole reason is you wanted the US title and Damian Priest on SmackDown for your Bad Bunny plug on Fox because you can't afford to pay for cable, or you don't want to sit through Raw to watch Bad Bunny.
I don't want to fast forward just to the Bad Bunny part. I want to see it on SmackDown. You know what I'm saying?
You want to see it?
I want to see a Hit Row Bad Bunny crossover.
Oh, okay.
I'm with that.
Hey, R-Truth, Ron Killen's out here dropping like a new track out there. Maybe like he can get on the remix with them. I'd like to see that. Real talk though, that's something that should really happen. Like R-Truth and Hit Row should go ahead and do a cipher or something.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say R-Truth and Bad Bunny. I was like, okay. I mean,
I feel like R-Truth has like maybe like 5% of his vocabulary in Spanish. I feel like he can drop a few bars in Espanol. He can't be too bad. Anything else you want to spit, Just?
No, that's pretty much it for me. That's like those like my biggest takes.
I'll spit the fact that Jackson Riker's still employed.
Yeah.
Same. Okay.
Austin Theory too.
Austin Theory. Maybe there's an Austin Theory there as to why he still has the job.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Well, because there's no kids in WWE. There's no kids.
I'm away from Hook.
Everyone's legal. Everyone's legal in WWE.
True. Fair enough. I guess my major spit is Benji. Are you okay?
I'm sorry. Caught me off guard. Okay.
Like most things in your life. I guess my next spit, and I think it's the bigger spit of them all from night 2, is WWE just basically saying fuck the women's tag team division and split up every single fucking women's tag team that isn't Super Brutality. Like, you split up Shotzi and Nox. You split up Natalya and Tamina. Obviously, you did the split of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. you've already been doing Eva Marie and Doudrop for a while. It's like every single tag team that you could have had are now broken up. And they didn't even have that many. If I'm not mistaken, I think they had like what? 3-4 tag teams, if that. Like it's the tag team division is non-existent. It's fucking ridiculous.
Right.
And also just because why it just kind of feels random. Like I'm spitting Jinder and the boys being split up. Like why is Veer being drafted by himself over to Raw and Jinder Mahal and Shanky are on SmackDown? Are they trying to say Veer is a 24/7 championship contender and Mahal just needs some muscle, a heater in Shanky? Like what's that? What's that, man? I don't know.
It's the setup for Jinder Mahal to come back to relevancy. That's what it is. He's gonna win back that title. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. King Maharaja, which is actually means King.
King.
But
double King.
Yeah.
Hey.
Double King. Oh.
King times 2. Okay.
That's too many K's already.
No, it's just enough. It's just enough K's to be okay. There's only two.
Okay.
There's only 2. Hopefully he doesn't get a gimmick change and has to add another one. But
listen, if Jackson Rikers ends up winning King of the Ring, then you got a problem.
Jesus. Ku Klux King? Is that what they would be called? Ku Klux King?
You want to see a new faction? It's gonna be like something, Riker's Clan.
Riker's Clan.
Oh man. Okay. Over like in general on the draft.
The Forgotten Clan. The Forgotten Clan.
The Forgotten. Overall, is there from both nights? Is there anything you guys want to gargle? Is there anything that's like gargle worthy, or like are we spare a swallow? We covered everything.
I guess gargle the whole draft because you don't know how all these talents are gonna play out in their new homes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially especially it's like the second week, right? Is the second week of the new draft, or this is the first week of everyone?
No. Okay. So that's another
one.
Second
week of the first.
It's the second week. Okay.
No. Hold up.
Oh, okay.
It's the second,
this goes to my spit. The draft isn't actually taken into effect until the Friday night SmackDown after Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, which is next week.
The third week of the second week of the first.
I guess I will gargle in future because we don't know how they're all gonna play out.
Okay, to be determined.
Yeah, can you do that to be turning gargle?
Yeah. To what? Wait, what'd you say?
To be
TBH. What was the whole phrase?
To be determined. Is that what I said? What did I say?
What did you hear, Benji?
Listen. If the viewers haven't realized, saying there's 2 of my Mexican homies and a Filipino guy, I'm assuming we were all in ESL.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't saying nobody in the comments should come at us for not knowing how to say some shit.
Right.
In America, the national language is there's none. So
true,
how about that?
True.
Fair enough. See what you did, Benji? You made Justin felt the need to have to defend himself just because he questioned it.
If it makes you feel better.
No, it's not Benji's fault.
If it makes you feel better, all Xia Li had to do was knock out Mercedes Martinez to be drafted.
R.I.P. Mercedes Martinez.
I miss her.
I'm gonna go ahead and spit the fact that the draft happened, and 3 weeks later, it's not actually gonna take effect. It takes effect 3 weeks after the fact. It's like, why have the draft? And I feel like this is everybody's gripe and complaints about the draft this year. It was, why the fuck do it and then have that whole 2-3 week grace period where it's just complete anarchy and no and it's clusterfuck and there's no actual brand split. That was the fucking point. They're looking for reasons to have the Usos on Raw, Roman Reigns on Raw and shit, and with very little consequences. But I think it's just fucking stupid. Just don't do the draft if you're not gonna actually take effect until 2 or 3 weeks afterwards. Just do it the Raw before Saudi Arabia. Do exactly what you did if you wanted to do this format. the Friday before Saudi Arabia and the Monday before Saudi Arabia. And that's it. That's it. Also, 2, I'm spitting the whole night 1, night 2 format. I think that shit's fucking stupid. It should all takes place on one goddamn night. And if you are gonna do 2 nights, why not do it on Raw the Monday and then the following SmackDown that same week on Friday? Why the fuck do I have to watch it on Friday, go through the whole weekend, then go to Monday? Like, it's like they're on separate weeks. It makes no goddamn sense. Why?
Yeah.
Like, and also too, I want to spit that because I wanted to talk about the draft with Matt, my co-host on Smackin' the Raw, but he missed the Friday of the draft, night 1, because it was his anniversary. Then I missed the following week and couldn't talk about night 2 on Raw because I was celebrating my 1 year with my girl. So it's like,
it's been a year. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a year. Shout out to my girl.
All right, so both of y'all swallowing for sure.
No. Don't. You might be misinterpreting things. You might be having people thinking we're doing out here doing things. I don't want to speak for Matt. Like, I don't want to
gang bang all day. Gang bang all day.
Gang bang all day.
No. We were monogamous over here now.
Oh, monogamous. Okay, monogamous all day.
Monogamous all day. Monogamous money over here. But the terrible dad jokes just keep rolling out, man. I just want to go ahead and just spit that whole concept of like having it on the end of the one week and then the start of the following week. I thought that was just fucking stupid.
That's dumb. Yeah, I'm with you. They should have done it in one show. One thing, get it out the way, and then the other thing too. Where was the Fox Football Android? How they did last year. Where's that? You know what I'm saying? The boardroom. I missed those when they had the two
board meeting. Yo, you know what?
I actually like that.
And I love that because I'm a fan of the NBA draft. I love just seeing the boardroom meetings, like the war rooms. I thought that was so enjoyable.
Exactly.
And I think they should have kept that. And nothing against Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. Karen Deville. Nothing against Karen Deville and Adam Pearce, but it's like it wasn't the same them coming out and announcing because it was kind of weird. There's no authority, it's literally like they're on both shows, it's not even like Sonya's on SmackDown, Adam Pearce is on Raw,
Mm-hmm.
It was just a weird dynamic overall. I'm just gonna go ahead and like spit the whole draft format this year.
Yeah. Hopefully
it's better next. And quickly before we wrap things up, because we're about that time. Free agents of note. Obviously, Brock Lesnar, because of Paul Heyman, according to him, he's a free agent, can do whatever the fuck you want, go wherever the fuck he wants. I think John Cena also qualifies in that category, as does Goldberg. They weren't specifically addressed. I'm just assuming there. Bayley, not drafted because of injury. Asuka, not drafted because of injury. Lacey Evans, not drafted because of maternity leave. And Eva Marie, not drafted because she's a terrible wrestler. Those 4. And Elias, because he killed his character. He's out there rediscovering his new gimmick, and he still hasn't showed up.
Right.
So those are 5 free agents. And also want to throw out Dakota Kai. She's been doing dark matches on main roster. She has not been seen since her loss against Raquel Gonzalez. She's kind of like in limbo, and it's, what are we going to do with Dakota Kai? She did a tease, co-tweeting with Bayley, talking about how they should do a tag team called the Free Agents and then come and return to either Raw or SmackDown. That'd be interesting. I would love to see Bayley and Dakota Kai.
Mm-hmm.
But quickly, where would you guys like to see some of these free agents go, and for that move to be a swallow for you?
See, I love me some Bayley, man. I think she could fit anywhere, but I think maybe Raw.
Is it because you have to evenly distribute the horsewomen 2 and 2?
Well, I was gonna say because it seems like SmackDown has almost like all the women like that are really good on the SmackDown show. So like I think to even up the talent, she should be on Raw.
Yeah.
Fair
enough.
I still kind of want to see the Bayley Bianca feud still go on.
Mm-hmm.
So they still got something there.
Also, too, with Bayley, I feel like she's done everything there is to do on SmackDown.
That's true.
Kind of need a refresher and go over to Raw. What about you, Benji? Is there Out of the free agents,
does she go to Raw and stay a heel, or does she switch?
I think she should stay a heel, man. I love Hugger Bailey, but she hit something different with the role model Bailey.
The role model Bailey still stays. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Right.
I don't see her going back to the hug life character.
No, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think she'll go back to wearing the side ponytail anymore. Like maybe she'll go babyface, and it'll be like a mixture of Hugger Bailey with her current character, maybe just with a little bit more edge, kind of like American Badass Undertaker, like he was out here rocking do-rags and shit, but he's still like out here tombstoning him motherfuckers,
Yo, I want to say Bailey in a do-rag. Let's go.
Do-rag Bailey, that's the gimmick. That's how you get over it. Have her come out in like in a fucking motorcycle.
Yeah, have her come out in the Easy Ride bikes. You know what I'm saying? The low rider bikes. The low rider bike.
The ones that Unico and Camacho used to roll down with back in like the early 2010s.
Yes, man. Embrace that. You know what I'm saying? She's from the area. Embrace that.
Oh man, shout out to Unico and Camacho.
Yeah, shout out.
One Mexican and Samoan out there being like fucking thugs. Benji, anything from those specific free agents? No, from those specific free agents, where would you like to see them move for that to be a swallow for you?
Dakota Kai, let's put her on SmackDown. Eva Marie, let's put her on Raw because no one's gonna watch that. And then who else? Elias. Riker's on Raw. Let's keep him away from him. I said put him on SmackDown. And then who else was it?
Lacey Evans and Asuka.
Lacey Evans. Asuka, let's say put Asuka on SmackDown, Lacey Evans Raw.
Okay.
And Eva Marie, let's just pretend it never happened.
Yeah, we can just go ahead and fire her. That's totally fine. For me, I'd like to see Asuka stay on Raw because before Charlotte moved, it was like, what can she do? She's done everything she has to do. If she goes over to SmackDown, I feel like it's going to be the same face as she was feuding with on Raw for the last year or so.
True.
You keep her on Raw. Now you get her in a program with Bianca. I don't think we've ever seen that. You get her in the program with Becky Lynch, which we didn't get to see. There's some history there. There's some story to be told.
Bianca fought Asuka in NXT early on.
But I meant like a program. Like there was never like a program.
A feud. Okay,
gotcha, like a feud. Yeah. I'm not being WWE and saying like Bianca and Charlotte never had a match, even though it happened on NXT. I'm just meant like a feud.
Right. I got you.
Bailey
versus
Bailey and Asuka, also a dynamic I would love to see revisited with like the roles reversed. Because on NXT, I think Asuka was a tweener / Shio, and then Bailey was the Hugger Bailey.
You're right. Yep.
Dakota Kai, I want to see her on Raw just because I feel like Raw needs a little bit more depth in the women's division. I feel like SmackDown's a little stacked on that end because you still have Toni Storm, who's untapped potential. You just drafted Xia Li. You got players over on SmackDown.
Exactly.
You still got Naomi, and Sonya Deville looks like she's making a return to wrestling. She's going to have a match against Naomi this week on SmackDown. Tonight, actually, on SmackDown.
Yep. On FS1.
On FS1. Super SmackDown. Supersize me.
Yeah.
Then you also have the option of Dakota Kai being on the same brand with Tegan Nox on Raw and reuniting Team Fly Kicks. I would love to see them as a tag team because they should have won the tag team titles at some point. Okay. But with that being said, I think those are all the Spitter Swallows for the WWE draft. Overall, guys, Spitter Swallow or Gargle undecidedly the WWE draft 2021.
Gargle undecidedly.
I think I'll Gargle undecidedly too.
Shut up, bitch. Swallow.
Yeah, I'll.
No. I was looking for a way to like add that in there, and I forgot about it until like the end. Shout out to Lil Wayne.
Shout out.
He's a gangster. He don't ask no questions. But
Moves
I think
in silence like lasagna.
Okay, okay, Benji, sure, I'll take your word for it. I'm gonna go ahead and gargle the draft just because there were some good moves there, but like the whole concept of the draft, the way it was executed was spit worthy, and then also just letting that shit linger for like 2 weeks and shit.
Exactly.
Man, that's kind of like just finishing on your girl's like stomach or on her ass and then just not getting the title to wipe it off. You just kind of walk out the room and she just kind of sitting there and she's just like cum shotted and shit, and it's just like she can't move, you know.
This is very detailed.
Well, I was gonna say since like, let's say, you know, that's like having the okay, I was gonna be like, you know, you do all the foreplay, you do everything right and everything's all ready, and then you'd be like, oh, hold up, I gotta use the bathroom. And then never actually go back to hitting it. And you just leave it go there.
You stay on the couch watching 2K.
Yeah, exactly.
Watching the rest of the Bulls game. Watching
excuse me. What the fuck?
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess you guys both gargled, right?
Yes, 100%.
All of it.
I'm going to make an executive decision and say we're going to go ahead. No, we're just going to gargle the draft. We gargle the draft. Gargle the draft.
Us. We're all going to snowball. Let's go.
Don't put that message out there, Justin. But yeah, we're going to snowball the draft. We're all gargling it and just circling around because nobody
jerk. Let's do it.
Circle jerk because we all refuse to spit it. Okay. Anyways, Justin, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you and all your content?
All right, well, you can find me in the Get Your Podcast on the Twitter. You know, check us out on all the podcast platforms. We're available on all of them. The Get Your Show is kind of TBH. You know what I'm saying? We have all crazy work schedules. But you can find me with my friends and my homies at the cafeteria on different pods. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Benji, do you want to plug your Tinder profile?
Sure. You can find me on Tinder, Bumble, Christian Mingle, and
was it Coffee Meets Bagels? Coffee Meets Bagels?
Wait, that's a new one. Wait, that's a new one?
Which one? Coffee Meets Bagels?
Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, that's like more like we're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna talk, you know. Okay? And then if it leads to that, then you know, we'll do
Hinge.
It, you know?
Hinge. Are you on Hinge, Benji? Are you on Hinge?
I'm a Hinge, Bumble, Chasing Poppy. You know, all these things.
Poppy. Chispa. Are you on Chispa?
Oh, what about
Chispa,
Plenty of Fish?
WhatsApp.
Is it Plenty of Fish or whatever?
POF. Plenty of Fish to the layman's. You know.
The Facebook dating app.
Okay, Cupid, you know.
Okay, Cupid, man. Yo, shit. You know, ladies, there you go.
Oh, eHarmony, the legit ones. eHarmony. You know what I'm saying?
eHarmony.
eHarmony for the mature woman. Now you can find me on all platforms. You can find me on all platforms: Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Benji Calavera. That's at Benji Calavera on all those platforms.
For sure. Obviously, you can go ahead and find the show on Instagram and Twitter at Smackin' the Raw Pod. Matt runs the Twitter. I run the IG. CreationWorld.com gets you the links to all the stuff. I think, if I'm correct, it's Facebook.com/groups/The Creation World or /Smackin' the Raw.
You said Facebook.com/group/Creation World?
Yes.
Gotcha. And that's on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Along with the Facebook dating app, or you can find Benji. So like while you're scrolling through the Facebook page, you can also try to like swipe right on Benji on the dating app. So, you know, two birds, one stone, you know, just like us being the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub. Go ahead and check us out right there. But Spread or Swallow exclusively right here on YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe. If you like this episode, give it a like. Comment down below. What do you swallow? What do you spit from the WWE draft as a whole? Are you going to swipe right on Benji if you come across his dating profile? You know, these are all the questions I want answered in the comment section down below. Follow me on all social media platforms at SESVince. This has been the Smack Raw podcast. We are, wait. I fucked it up. We are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub. I am SESVince. We are Smackin' the Raw, and we are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub. There you go. Later, y'all.
This guy. You were doing so good.